let me quote you one of the examples where I think a couple of weeks back, I was invited to an event which was all about waste management. The waste that is there everywhere, which is lying around, the plastic garbages, there's that. So normally when you look up at the waste pickers, the rack pickers, they are really from the very low strata of the society. And this event was basically to bring to light how a waste picker was trained and how innovatively he started using his knowledge on waste picking to create an enterprise. Amazing, very beautifully. This guy changed his life. Totally uneducated, has zero idea of what the school is, has been rack picking since he was a child. Indonesia, India, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, we are all used to seeing all these things. How our rack pickers can do things, how they can pick the racks and how they can segregate. So this event, we had people who were highly qualified scientists who were part of that program, researchers, scientists, some of them even corporates. They were all asked to be part of this event. They were made to sit on the floor. We made them sit on the floor, and the rack picker was sitting on the chair. And he was giving his experience. This guy, he speaks in the local language, only 3 words he knows in English. I am this, I am the CEO of this company. That's the only English that he can speak. But his experience that he saw was, cables, wire cables, So wire cables, when they have a plastic insulation on the top. And below the insulation is where the copper wire goes.
Okay.
So the waste that was lying, these cables which used to be dumped, which used to get thrown away in the garbage, this rack picker was only specializing in cables. So he used to pick those cables, and what he used to do was that he has to literally slice it with a piece of blade to get the copper wire out. Okay, but in that process, many times they used to get hurt.
Okay.
So what he did, he created a small machine where he would insert the cable, the plastic insulation would come out, and the copper cable would be coming out on the other end. And that same thing, what he used to do is he used to collect lots of cables, and he used to create a full bundle of cable with all those collected ones and started selling them. And he started making good amount of money. But he had only this small machine which the team had helped him create. So when he saw that it's not only me who is having this problem, the whole bunch of people who do this job all have the trouble. So what he did, he got the idea that he should set up an unit which can manufacture this machine, and he can then give it to each of these people who can start using it for pulling the cables and get the copper wire out. And at the same time, when they sell it, copper is highly precious metal, so you get good amount of money. So he used to give those machine on loan. And when they used to make money, he started getting the money from them. And today, he sells about 25 to 30 machines per month. So he makes close to about, say, $7,000 to $8,000 a month, which is really, really big when you compare to that guy. Now, this man comes in a coat and a suit for a meeting. And that's how his life has changed. From a rack picker who used to wear torn clothes, he now comes with a coat and a suit, speaks 3 words in English. All he demonstrates is this machine, and job done. So the right set of innovation and the right set of person using that innovative product can generate revenues. And that's how you can elevate this person from being a below poverty line man to an above poverty line man. And these are some of those efforts. This is only one of them, but likewise, there are so many other things. I think there is the Hippo roller drum, which is again one of the best innovation that has helped people to transport water in rural communities in India. So the Hippo roller drum is something where people had to travel long distance to fetch water. So this Hippo roller drum has got a handle, and the drum has got something where you can actually when you fill the water, you just roll it across, and then you can straight away bring it to your house instead of carrying it on your head, on your hand. And this is the job. This is one of those other innovations which has actually helped transform the life of women in villages in transporting water.
Oh, right.
And these are all frugal inventions and innovations which has done the job.
I see.
No complex ideas.
So you say so innovation plays a really big role, including in eradicating poverty, right?
Yes, I mean, innovation can do a lot of wonders if used as the right set of tools to improvise the qualities of life of people. Yes, and the nation itself.
Yeah. That's yeah. Well, if I could say so myself, I mean, when I heard the word of innovation, the image that appear on my head is something that's difficult to do, like something's complicated. But well, yeah, if well, now that I heard your story, it's really interesting that innovations can start from a small thing, but it has big effect, right?
Yes, I mean, see, every innovation, when you look at it, has to impact a part of the society. So each innovation that we talk creates an impact on a spectrum of society and helps them to scale up from one level to the other. Now, when we look up at um, uh, Gojek in Indonesia,
Yeah.
when Gojek started in Indonesia, nobody in the country ever knew what that was going to do. But
Yeah.
now look at Gojek. It has done wonders when it comes to transporting the people, delivering food.
Yeah.
One single app has done wonders back in that country. And Gojek is now a model which is replicated in so many other countries. I think post Gojek, a lot of activities even started here in India. We have the Zomatos, we have Uber Eats, we have so many different apps that have come up. And there are micro apps also which has come up because of this. Now we have something called as Blinkit, which is like an exactly last minute delivery. Say, for example, you're coming from abroad, you forgot to get toffees, you just go to the app, order it. In 5 minutes, you have the lint toffee box in your hand. So I think these small identification of problems and coming up with an innovative solution does a lot of change to the way it brings comfort to the people, provide job opportunities to so many people who can act as delivery boys, can act as transportation agents. So you will see that all these small changes when we make and income starts flowing into these people's pockets, their standard of living and their thought processes keeps increasing. Say, for example, I think the olden days people used to carry the Nokia 110 phone. Now the same kind of delivery boys carry the smartphone. There's a sea of change with the revenues coming in.
Oh, yeah. Totally agree. Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit it's new that you also know about Gojek.
I used to travel a lot to Jakarta.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So about all of these innovations, I mean, well, it starts small, but I'm sure that there are a lot of challenges also. So, what are some of the main challenges or maybe barriers that you have encountered in your journey this far?
Ah, that's a daily affair. There is no single day when you are sitting relaxing today, there is going to be no trouble. Innovation is all about challenges.
Yeah.
So you try to solve one, you are always having a backup of troubles which are going to come up with solving one set of problem.
Mm.
How do I put it across? Okay, now let's talk of infrastructure related issues that is common to both of us.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk Indonesia and India. Both the places infrastructure is a very big issue. Having been in Jakarta and having staying here in Bangalore, I can tell both the places are the same set of headache. We are always having a constant problem with traffic jam.
Yeah.
Traffic movement is a big headache. Now, with so many innovative solutions that we have got, like the metro rails that is going in, the skyway system that is being working around, uh, the challenges that every government official or an civic planner or as an individual when we are looking up at things is always um, a multifold activity. So it cannot stop at one thing. Say if you're trying to build bridges, we are trying to build flyovers, we are constructing the metro lines, the amount of challenges that goes in each of this activity by itself is is hell, is really hell. So it, those are at a very bigger level. So when we talk of smaller challenges or smaller things, when we handle at a very grassroots level, when we say for example, when we are talking about an electric scooter, that is one of those recent innovations that has happened in the commutation system. Now, the biggest challenge that we all face is the charging points. We don't have enough charging points that are placed. So even if there are charging points, these charging points are still taking it from the conventional grid. So we are still having the challenge of how do we address the energy which is being generated. They are again using the fossil fuel. Now the challenge is how do we generate energy out of alternate resources? Could be in the form of wind, could be in the form of solar, could be kinetic energy. I don't know what new forms of energy, hydrogen as a fuel. So even an innovation, if it is there in the market, still poses a problem, because there will be so many other things which needs to be addressed for that solution to become more sustainable and more ease of use, and all those things has to come in place. So likewise, if you ask me, as a federation and as a person who is looking into various inventions and innovations that we see, some of the major challenges are that we have to find out what innovation can actually go to the market, because every time all inventions and innovations are not marketable. That's again a bigger headache, because every time when somebody comes up with an innovative product and expects us to take it to the market, until unless it is not commercially viable, it doesn't make any sense for that product to go into the market. Some are really good to see and appreciate, but not commercially viable.
Okay.
And to make it commercially viable, it has to go through its own processes and challenges. So that's one of the biggest problems that we face when we are dealing with inventions and innovations, on how do we make things commercially viable. So commercial viability and access to funding to support ideas to a proof of concept. We need access to funding, good set of people who understand that this has to be funded, so that it needs to be checked whether it can be taken to the market and how it can be promoted and how it can be taken. So funding and market access are two bigger challenges that we face out here. And not only me, I think if you talk to anyone who is in the business of pushing inventions and innovations, will have the same set of story to tell you that funding and commercial access is a big trouble.
Okay, so the funding and
Yes.
to make it able to market it, right? So is that what you do in the EVIA, or maybe how you or EVIA, or maybe the AFAS Digitech? I think it's a platform for innovations,
Yeah,
right?
IFIA, it is IFIA.
Yeah, how are you working in that? I mean, like
Okay.
specifically.
Okay, what we are trying to do is that we are, whenever we try and get these innovative ideas and all these things, we need to put them into different buckets. We need to find out each of these products first needs to become an enterprise, because at an idea stage, it is very difficult to understand what it can do and what it cannot do. So we need to first have an POC built. Using that POC, then we need to see what is the viability of that POC, whether it can, how much it can take to the market, how much will the people accept this in the market. And then once we know that it is an viable venture, then we need to have the funders in place who can support it. Then we need to have the product to be scaled up, improvised, bring in a lot of improvements into the product before it goes into the market. So it's a stage gate process that is required to be followed for us when we take an idea to the market. So it's a process by itself. So it takes time for any idea to come into the market. So uh, it's not a magic wand that we have in our hand, that abracadabra, that's it, come on, you're a new product. No, there is no such magic wand with us, nor with anybody else in the world. We all have to go through this process of launching, identification of a product, then the product has its own journey, then scaling up, and then getting into the market, and then the cycles of demand and supply, all those things comes to play. Yes.
As a person who support this invention and innovations, do you have any message you want to tell people out there who want to innovate, but maybe they don't know how to start?
Well, I mean, innovation certainly is not something which can be taught to someone. It's something which has to I mean, it is something which comes with what you look up at a problem and come up with solutions. Say, I mean, the best innovators are your mothers, are the mothers of the world. So what is left over in the evening of one day becomes a morning breakfast the other day. It's a complete new product which you're going to eat it the next morning. So the leftover innovation is one thing that you can see and understand how a time, a situation, a place, and a product can change. So that's where I think, and it's that each of us might be doing innovation in our own small way. We all might be finding innovative ways to solve our own problems, but we would never look at it with a serious aspect. So innovators are basically someone who should be seriously looking into a problem, finding out solution which makes it very viable and which can be actually be practical, usable, and economical at the same time. So I think keep your eyes and brains open, find problems, find solutions which can bring impact to the world and which can be creating new ideas and new products which can really be solving the problems. And the best country is Japan itself. So everything that is there in that country is a highly innovative product which has been created out of problems which they have been facing. Be it the watches of Japan or be it the foods and the way they are preparing it, everything is innovation out there. And I think the best place to learn all these things is by observing problems and finding solutions which are easy, solutions which are not complex, solutions which are affordable, and solutions which are impactable.
Right. So think simple, right? Just focus on the problem and
Simple, yes. Simple solutions. Don't complex it. No reason.
okay. Great. Okay, thank you so much for your, your stories and the explanation because well, for me personally, it's also opened my eyes because I always thought that innovation is something that complex and hard to do. But yeah, now also that's interesting analogy about the breakfast. Now that you mention it, and I
Yes.
thought, right, it is innovation. Like, yeah. So thank you, and well, I hope people who watch this also can open their minds, their eyes to start for something simple and start to think simple to solve the problem.
Sure. Thank you.